What's up, America? Neil here with Geauga Firearms Academy. Thanks for watching. Today we have a very exciting video. We're going to be talking about how we can improve our speed and accuracy with a drill that can be done both dry fire and live fire. So let's get started. When we're talking about speed and accuracy, and I'll put a link below to the video that I'm referencing here, but I did a video a little ways back where basically I was looking at the camera and my target was over here, so we were offset. I drew my gun out and I fired. The target was whatever, 3-5 yards away, whatever the case was, a realistic self-defense distance, and my shot was only a couple inches off of dead center. And it wasn't designed to be a trick shot or anything. The idea there was that I've drawn my gun so many times over and over and over, and I've gotten that mechanic down to the point where I'll say 90% of my accuracy, if you will, is just going to come from the movement alone. Just if I close my eyes and lined up my gun, I'm going to be pretty much there. And then so my only job when I'm actually shooting live rounds is to clean up that last 10%, 5-10% by finding that front sight, focusing on it right before I press that trigger. All that really is doing, that front sight, is just confirming that yes, mechanically I'm on. Okay, it's a term I use a lot. So mechanically I'm on, I find that front sight to confirm that, and I take that shot. And rather than the process when we're new of, our sight, lining up our sights, our rear sights, our front sight, focus on our front sight, all that good stuff, right? Fundamentals of shooting. We could never get away from that. But that takes a lot more time, especially when we're already in a state of movement, right? We can stand here all day and take our time. It's not a big deal. But when we're trying to draw a gun out and fire as fast as possible while maintaining good enough accuracy, right? Combat accuracy, 6 to 8 inches. It's critical that we're able to have as little input to actually have to kind of think through that process as possible, right? An example that I always do in classes is I'll take some object and I'll throw it to somebody without telling them, and they always catch it or come close to it, or they at least react properly. And again, we say immediately thereafter, you have to think about that. No, it's just a reaction. Same concept here. So watch that video, there's some good content. Now, here's the drill that I think you guys are really going to like. And again, cool part about this, you can do it anywhere you want because it's both live fire and dry fire. So I'm just going to grab a gun, and we're going to talk about guns in a few minutes here, because what I'm going to show you here, this particular drill, the type of gun that you're going to use, the brand even, is going to have a big impact. So we'll talk about that. So let me just grab one off the table here. So this is our SIG P320, okay? Here's the drill. Basically, you're going to get your good master grip. You don't have to do it from the draw here. We just want to get a good grip on it. We're just going to come to a natural compressed position. One thing I want to always talk about as well, and just more of a teaching video, if you will, an instructional video, is that people have this tendency, they're always trying to like compensate by keeping the muzzle completely straight when they bring it back. Realistically, that's kind of unnecessary. I mean, this is a natural, this angle, whatever degree that is, I'm not consciously thinking about it. I'm just, from an extended position to here, that's natural. Just like when you clap, right? I don't know very many people that clap like this. You just have a natural bend in your arm, right? Your arms are straight, and that's a natural place. So don't overthink it. People are like, well, yeah, but what if we don't shoot straight? I mean, do you really think that this is really that big of a time maker there? Ultimately, when we're drawing the gun, we're going to be on plane and we're going to drive out. When we come back to this position, maybe we're assessing the situation, whatever the case is, it's not a big deal. Just come back to a natural, comfortable position. Now, here's the drill. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have a target. And this is really important. You can't just throw out in space. You want to legitimately have a target that's pretty much eye level, okay? Center mass right in front of you. This is the idea here. So that if I'm naturally looking forward at this target, that should be right in my line of view. And it can be just a sticky note in a mirror, whatever the case is, okay? Just some form of a target there, okay? What I'm going to do now, with my good master grip here, nice and relaxed, I'm going to close my eyes, all right? Looking straight at my target. I'm then going to extend my gun straight out where my normal extension would be. And this is very, very important. If you're at that point now where you're drawing your gun, you guys are going to find a position, a distance from your body that is comfortable for you. And what's comfortable for me may not be comfortable for you. No one should be able to tell you that's exactly what you must do. It's going to be a little different. We teach in the beginning to come pretty much all the way out to extension because students are leveraging the fact that they're using their structural alignment, the bone alignment of their arms, to help maintain that recoil, okay? But you're going to find that as you're drawing quickly, coming all the way out to an extension is going to cause a lot of movement in the gun. So at some point you're going to find that shortening that up so that you can hit the brakes while you're moving that gun forward may be beneficial. And again, that's going to be different for everybody. Find a competent instructor. So now that we've established that, I got my target. I'll go sideways here so it'll be a little easier for you to see. So I got my target, a little sticky note on a mirror, whatever the case is, on a wall. I'm looking straight at it. I bring the gun in. Good master grip, comfortable, relaxed, good to go. I close my eyes. I'm then going to draw my gun or drive my gun out to my natural extension, wherever that's going to be, and I open my eyes. Now, what you don't want to do is when you open your eyes, I see a lot of this sometimes, and I'll do it more towards the camera so you can see here, where people will they'll close their eyes, they drive the gun out, and they do this. And they fish their head around, they go, oh, there's my sights. The idea here is that when I drive this out and open my eyes, that my sights right there, that is literally perfect, okay? So what that tells me is that naturally when I drive this gun out now, the way the angle of my wrist, my arms, my alignment, if I'm looking at a target and I close my eyes and I drive this gun out, I am right there, okay? I don't have to fish around. Try not to move the gun around. What you don't want to do is this, open your eyes, and then you're moving the gun around. Like, yep, I found it. That's not the drill. The idea is that I close my eyes and I open them. Now, let's say that I'm off. Let's say that I'm, I don't know, we'll say to the left, okay? So I open it, and I'm gonna exaggerate this highly just to illustrate my point. But I go like this, I open my eyes, and my sights are obviously way off. So then I gotta bring them back, right? Again, I'm exaggerating. It's gonna be just minuscule amounts. But the idea is that we're gonna keep working this until I can open my eyes, and there it is, right there. I don't have to adjust the gun. I don't have to move my arms. I don't have to move the muzzle. I'm just right on the money right there. And so after you can do that, repetition after repetition after repetition, you're going to find that you're going to be able to deliver rounds on target so much faster. Just because the draw, you are like right there. You're like 98% there. And then that last two, again, we're confirming that we can see that front sight. It's right where I want it to be, and I press that trigger. Because remember, we cannot shoot faster than we can see that front sight. Really, really important, okay? So now, and by the way, let's talk about live fire just real quick. So same thing on the range. Obviously, we're down range. You're not going to turn around and move or anything, but we're going to have our gun ready to go. We've dry fired, we're warmed up, we're ready to go. Same concept there. Close my eyes. I drive that gun out, I open them, I find my sights. Then I'm going to keep it out there, keep my eyes closed, and fire around. All right? I know, like I'm telling you to shoot with your eyes closed in a very controlled environment, but what you're going to find is that you're going to be able to hit center mass, you're going to be able to hit that target consistently without even being able to see your sights. So now we add the fact that we can confirm that, we can see that front sight. You're going to find that your speed and accuracy is just going to go through the roof on this one. All right, now let's talk about guns. So let's look into some guns here, specifically brands. And this isn't what you should and shouldn't buy necessarily. It's just based on grip angles and how certain guns fit hands better than others. Because I hear that term a lot, but I don't think a whole lot of people really understand fully what we're talking about. So let's take the elephant in the room, okay? The Glock. You guys all know this is not by far my first pick. I'm not a Glock fan, although I carry one every day, and I shoot a lot of them. But for this is one of the main reasons why they're not my favorite, okay? And it comes down to grip angle. I'm going to show you this side by side so you can kind of see. So what am I talking about? Well, Glock has a different grip angle than a vast majority of guns, which follow more of the classic 1911, okay? So this grip angle here. This grip angle for me and for a lot of shooters is just a more natural pointing gun. And this is something that you will have to check it on your own. Check it out on your gun, whatever brand it is that you choose. You're going to find that if you ever go to a gun shop or something, you can try this, especially if they let you rent guns. Certain guns are going to naturally point better for you than other guns. It's just a fact, okay? And maybe Glock is the natural pointer for you and maybe not, okay? But I'm going to show you in depth here what we're talking about. This part right here in particular, this hump in the back, this is one of the things that causes this more severe grip angle. So if you look at these guns, as far as grip angle goes, and I'm going to try to stack these on top, and I'm going to show you guns that are exactly the same size. Let's see if the camera can pick that up or not. But you're going to see that this hump extends where this is completely straight, and this angle, which is typically around 19 degrees, is much more straight up and down. So let me use, for example, a CZ, because they're pretty much identical, and this one shares more of the 1911 angle, where this is the obviously traditional Glock grip. And you're going to be able to see it probably pretty well here, that the hump, rather than being very pronounced and then going more inward, this is kind of a more straight-lined approach. So as you can imagine, when you're holding it in your hand, right, your hand's more erect, okay, children, come on, more up and down. And then the Glock, you're going to have more of an angle to it, right? So that does make an impact. It does make an impact on your natural point of aim. I'll take another bystander here, the one we just looked at, the SIG, very 1911-ish as well, as you can see there. So again, if I stack that on top, all right, try to line the trigger guards up, it's very pronounced here. I think you should be able to see that very well, that hump that sticks out back, okay? I'll give you an example as far as striker guns with the 1911. One of my all-time favorite guns, the M&P, right? Which is, I mean, that's one of their claims to fame, is that they're following the 1911 grip angle, and you can see it is right on the money. Other than that grip safety sticking out, that's one of the reasons why I shoot this gun so well. So again, with the CZ and the Glock, again, just because they're so identical in dimensions pretty much, excuse me, you're going to find that grip angle, right, that's what's going to affect. It's going to have a big effect on that when you close your eyes, you drive that gun out, because the angle of your wrist has to change. It has to. This gun is not going to naturally point the same way this is. The dimensions are off, okay? Again, I'm not just, well, then Glock's the wrong gun. I'm just saying you may find that your natural way you point that gun out there works for you. So another question I'm sure it's going to come up is, well, how does it work for me? Well, how does it work? And I don't really have a really good answer to tell you outside of the fact that I've shot so many rounds through both grip angles that perhaps, just my theory, without me consciously thinking about it anymore, my brain recognizes that Glock grip is a little different and adjusts. It's the only thing I can tell you on that one. But it seems that I can pretty much naturally point to. But if you gave me $1 million and I had to pick one of the guns on the table, it's going to be a 1911 grip angle if I had one shot at it to have the most accurate shot based on that, okay? So again, choosing the right gun, proper grip angle that's natural for you, is going to be a big deal with this. And ultimately, what it's going to do is help you shoot faster and more accurately. All right, guys, hope that was helpful. If it was, feel free to comment. You got any questions, send them down below. As you guys know, our bread and butter is Patreon. That's where we send all our A-list stuff. If you're watching a video on YouTube where I say, "What's up, America?" There's definitely at least one other video that you're not going to see that goes directly to Patreon. We're also restructuring that. We're trying to give you more bang for your buck. Giving you more credits, so when you watch videos, when you sign up to Patreon, you're going to have credits going towards classes. So for those that want to come out and train, you're actually going to kind of use that as a layaway program. We're going to extend that out. We also have some other cool goodies just for Patreon folks as well. By the way, you guys, I hate to say this because this video hopefully is up for a long time and it won't matter, but we are at 100,000 subscribers and we're doing a giveaway. We're going to talk about that, so that's going to be awesome. You can find us on Twitter. You can find us on Facebook. and Google. Until next time, remember, it's always better to be judged by 12 than carried by 6.